My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I'm putting this on here because so you know where I'm coming from, and in case you haven't watched any of my other videos, and I'm on Facebook. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 1941 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin. Both twins were dead, in fact, and they had been killed by their mother, Lina Dempsey. They were born out of wedlock, and it was a pigsty. There's no other word for it. It was like a two-room hellhole. There's no way to describe it, like at the Hatfields and McCoys or something. So I hope I don't make anybody mad saying Hatfield and McCoy. I'm trying to get a word that describes the madhouse, the sick things that went on there. And the cover-up of the twins, I was brought there. Cortland Air Base had just been built and during the war. And I'm assuming I was flown in there, and I'll tell you why. I had to get there somehow. That'd be the question to ask the Dempseys, except all of the family. There were 8 kids. All of them are dead except 2, and one has Alzheimer's. The other one recently called me, and I'm not going to badmouth her. I have memories. I don't have any bad memories of her, but I do know that one of the sisters, they take up for each other. It's okay they kidnapped me. They don't care about my mother and father, me, and the fact, well, anyway, the twins were dead. Their mother killed them, and Annie Carter, Dempsey Carter, was the second youngest one, and she's deceased now. But when I was up there in 84 and 85, and I had the Hustler car furnished me by Larry Flint, and I had enough information I just found out, and I found out from the British, by the way. How would I have known in 83 about my father's Edward VIII, King Edward VIII? He married Claudia O'Keeffe, Georgia O'Keeffe, the artist's sister, from Madison, Wisconsin, and Georgia had the Ghost Ranch out in Santa Fe, near Santa Fe. So the thing is, my father never married Wallace Simpson. A double did, an imposter. And Roosevelt was president. Remember the wheelchair? That's where they put Larry Flint in Lawrenceville, Georgia, when they shot him, when he was shot March the 6th of 78. And I was doing a book on medical malpractice and mind control. So that I don't get lost, Larry Flint was shot. And the person was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney there in Lawrenceville. Later, I was flown out to Flint's, and he did this article, and he says in it, I know who was responsible for his shooting. And by the way, he was put in Butner for telling the truth, Butner, North Carolina, where the supposed serial killers, some of them are. There has been so much misdiagnosis about this, and if I'm wondering, I'm not really. It's consumed my life. I was flown out to Flint's, by the way, in '83 in a campaign to special election. One of the doctors, congressman that I'd written about, U.S. Congressman Larry McDonald, his plane had gone down. It was a Korean KAL that shot down by the Soviet Union when it veered into their airspace. All aboard died in the ocean, supposedly. Nixon was taken off the plane in Juneau, and so it's been told, Geraldo was. Supposedly, Larry McDonald was on there and went down, and I became a candidate and was flown out to, now I had written about him extensively, about the Warren and Rosita Matthews murders at Piedmont, and I could go on and on. They were forensic pathologists. And they were, the girl that was going to testify against, in that trial was under mind control, or hypnosis. You go a little further and you don't even know you're getting mind control. So that I don't wonder if Father or you can't put this together on a 10-minute video, I'm going to show you Gabby Gifford. Now, I ran for U.S. Congress. I didn't get it. That's what Larry Flint helped me, and then later in the presidential, which people, I guess, take as a joke. I don't think there's anybody else in Congress or anywhere that could tell you the things that I know. Um, but anyway, let me go ahead and get this because I'm on 5 minutes and I only have 8 or 10 on here. Gabby Gifford was a U.S. Congresswoman, and she was with Mark as her husband, Mark Kelly, and he's a twin to Scott Kelly. So the guy that did all those shootings in Tucson was programmed, and now she goes after uh, the same thing in the Hinckley shooting, and that was mind control. He was programmed. Get rid of the rifles. That's a lot of what do you do? The rifles have nothing to do with it, or the knives, like in what they accused German diplomats Sonny and Zorings and Elizabeth Haysom in a crime here in Bedford, which he's in Buckingham State Prison in Dillwyn, and she was in Goochland, but they're innocent. They're a victim of mind control murders done in patterns. So anyway, my son's, this is the only picture I have because after I did the book, got a letter from the U.S. Attorney in June the 23rd, which, by the way, is my father's birthday. But, of course, the year was 79. And it was an ongoing investigation, national security involved. Now then, so much happened to me that following April the 1st, April Fool's Day, I had antifreeze put in me and should have died. And it was a fiasco what was done to me when I went for a mere tox screen and had a letter from the U.S. Attorney on me, and it was hell. None of the, I thought maybe, I knew I'd been given something horrible. And, I mean, I was dying. It's a feeling you don't ever want to know. I went for a tox screen to try to neutralize whatever it was, find out what it was. Instead, a doctor from Parkland, remember Parkland? They're all one of the doctors I wrote about, Victor Gonzalez, is still in practice, and he's doing quite well. But he was at Parkland when John Kennedy was brought in. So you get it. He came to Redstone Arsenal, and he brought his wife to Cosmopolitan Health Spa, where I was instructor. And I won't go any further on that. I could, but I won't get this all on the tape. And I'm showing you my cabinet here, I guess. But he brought his wife in and signed her up for a month, and then she was gone. And I'm going to skip to Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta. He went to Atlanta from Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, the Army base, and he set up practice. And that's where my husband took me. He had moved and gotten a job, Lockheed Marietta. So anyway, without the criminals in it, I've been run from Atlanta, Huntsville, Alabama, where, by the way, after the antifreeze was put in me, I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, in 80. And that's when John Lennon was shot and killed by Mark David Chapman. So you're using patterns. Mark's my son's name, who's heir after me. David is my father's name, Edward VIII, who they've all lied. It's all a lie. I mean, my father, they took him down because he was a good man. He was married to my mom. So this is what history and the Kennedys, Joe Kennedy was ambassador, to England during that time, 36 till he was kicked out in 46. And Roosevelt appointed him. Well, he teamed up with, he already was, he teamed up with my uncle, who became illegal George VI. That's Elizabeth's father. And they kidnapped me. His own brother, he helped take down his own brother with lies and then kidnapped me, Victoria II, and I am the legal heir, and was responsible with the Rockefellers and Rothschilds and the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, the Freemasons, the global takeover that's in place now, the New World Order, which Elizabeth is a member, and Charles, and they're illegal. What I wanted to finish up here, I don't know where my children are. I've screamed and I've cried, and it's done no good. And I've told about mind control murders. And by the way, the Virginia Tech, I'm in Roanoke, Salem right now. I don't know for how long. I'm about to get run